Yo, what's up everyone? This is the last Kanto catch-up video I have to do, so I'm thankful for that. Not that I mind recording these, but because I actually don't, I enjoy it. It's just, I don't like having to backtrack. I mean, I have to do it in a ROM. I should be backtracking. It's just, yeah. So let me turn this down a tiny bit. It's kind of loud. Still kind of loud. Whatever, it's fine. I'll just turn my volume down. So. Oof, man, we have a Muck and a Alolan Muck, and these guys are really solid now. They were a bit underwhelming, and actually, sadly, Alolan Muck pretty much outclassed Cantonian Muck in most ways because of that additional dark typing they gave it. However, what a lot of people don't actually realize is that Pure Poison is a really good defensive typing in its own right. It actually has more resistances than Poison Dark, I believe. Let me check in a second, but before I do that, I want to talk about changes. So, Muck has Water Absorb. I think that's a very fitting ability, given that they're literally found in water and they're the water pollution mon. I think absorbing water makes total sense. And that gives them that means that both of them have an immunity. So Cantonian Muck is immune to water with Water Absorb, while Alolan Muck is immune to Psychic because of its dark typing. So that's really fair. Now they both have one immunity, so that's already making them far more equal. In addition, Cantonian Muck's abilities are arguably better. I wouldn't say better, but they are different. If that makes sense, Gluttony and Merciless are still very good on Alolan Muck, but Cantonian Muck has Gooey, which is not very useful for yourself because even at -1 or 2 speed, you're not going to outspeed the opponent with 25 speed. But that's very useful for team support. So you can, take some physical hits. You can become super tanky. You can heal up. You can toxic the opponent. You can do whatever you need to do. You can heal up with Recover. Yes, both of them have access to reliable recovery with Recover now, by the way. And Cantonian Muck has Strength Sap, while Alolan does not. So that's another benefit of Cantonian Muck, is that it has Strength Sap to keep it above Alolan. Because again, it was kind of a shame that Alolan did outclass it in every regard. So now Cantonian Muck has a lot more unique tools that it only has, and that Alolan Muck does not have. If I mix up the two, hopefully you know which one I'm talking about. I might mix up the two while I'm talking. As a whole, the whole line, both Alolan and Cantonian, are both much bulkier. They just have overall massive, sizable stat boost to everything, solid stat boost to everything, and then a big special attack boost because I do like them being attackers. They are a gigantic pile of sludge after all. I think that, and they already learned a bunch of special moves, so I think them having a solid special attack stat is pretty fitting with the sludge moves and other really good stuff. So they have an insane coverage move pool, as you can see here. They have coverage for fucking everything on the physical and special side. Cantonian Muck does have access to water moves like Liquidation, Water Pulse, Hydro Pump, Surf, and Muddy Water, while Alolan does not have any water type moves, so that's another benefit or difference between them. However, Alolan Muck does have Fang moves that Cantonian Muck does not have, and I actually ended up feeling like I was pushing too hard in the Cantonian Muck side of things, so I did give Alolan Muck a higher attack stat in exchange for even less speed, because Alolan Muck does weigh more than Cantonian Muck. I believe it's almost double. Yeah, it weighs almost double. So I was like, okay, they can move slightly slower, and they have more attack, which fits, obviously, given that they have these little crystals that are like Fang-like, I think they should have a slightly higher physical attack stat. So 115 versus 110. Obviously, 110 is still great on Cantonian Muck. And again, Pure Poison versus Poison Dark. I'm going to compare the two now. So Pure Poison with Water Absorb means it's immune to water, and then it's resistant to grass, fighting, poison, bug, and fairy. All right, those are 5 very good resistances. And Pure Poison only has 2 weaknesses to ground and psychic. It's a really good defensive typing. Very underrated in my opinion. And then Alolan Muck is immune to psychic as opposed to water and has 4 resistances but only 1 weakness. So Cantonian Muck actually has an additional fighting resist. And then that actually it resists bug and fairy, while Alolan Muck does not. Alolan Muck is neutral to bug and fairy, but it resists ghost and dark. So the only resistance that they share is poison and grass. Other than that, and then they both share a ground weakness. So they share a ground weakness, and they both are resistant to poison and grass, but everything else is different. So they are very different defensively, and I would say they're very equal because Alolan Muck has 1 extra resistance in exchange for that 1 extra weakness, and they both have 1 immunity to psychic and water respectively. So that's really cool. I really like how equal they are now in terms of viability. And again, that Strength Sap is a big deal. Strength Sap is an incredible healing move. Of course, you do have Recover for most of the game, but towards late Ula Ula Island, you'll be getting Strength Sap, which is a great option on Muck. Alolan Muck is a bit stronger. It does have some moves that Cantonian Muck does not have. For example, Jagged Fangs, Power Gem, that kind of stuff. Cantonian Muck does not have those moves. So I did give them relatively sizable stat differences and move differences, but nothing that... Oh my gosh. Hold on, everybody, I'm sorry. All right. Sorry everybody. Somebody messaged me. So yeah, actually I haven't talked about the abilities yet. So yeah, GUI is good for like recover spam. You can debuff the opponent. It's great for totems as well. Also, Grimer is much stronger. It's just slightly less HP, but it has much more speed F and defense. So overall, it's bulkier, or you could say it's just as bulky, but it's mostly for balancing reasons because it also evolves earlier now at level 31. So that's really nice instead of 38. You'll have that before Olivia, so you'll have Muck before Olivia for sure. Yeah, recover is a big deal. Also, they both have priority, so Alolan Grimer does have dual stab. That's another benefit. Alolan Muck has dual stab, while Muck only has singular stab, so it is better offensively. Although that water coverage is a pretty big deal. That again, Alolan Muck lacks, and the rock coverage is not a big deal because rock coverage you already have rock slide and stuff on Cantonian Muck, so it's not like jagged things is the end of the world to miss out on. Paragem, you know, special sets I guess don't have rock coverage on Cantonian Muck, but that's not the end of the world at all. Versus lacking water moves is not that it's bad. I mean, they still have an immense coverage as you can see here. Also, yes, Moonblast is really weird. However, there is actually I believe they literally learned Moonblast in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. Pretty sure they learned it in Let's Go Pikachu. Yes, they do. They learned Moonblast. That's because one of the dex entries says that it came from like a moon ray or some bullshit. It's so fucking weird. So they gave it Moonblast. So I was like, all right, fuck it, I'll give it Moonblast too then. It's good coverage. So, yeah, there's so much awesome stuff here. So you have tons of utility. Again, you have lots of stat dropping moves. You have Toxic, you got Venom Drench, which is buffed. All these moves are buffed and changed, by the way. You should totally just check them out in the description below. There is a link to the Google Sheets. You can check out all the changes firsthand. You can see all the cool new move buffs. I mean, it's really awesome. All the reworks and all this stuff for yourself, and also all the other Pokemon. You can check those out. So Alolan Muck has Stab, Night Burst, and Sludge Shot and Poison Dart, while Cantonian Muck only has Sludge Shot and Shadow Sneak for priority. They both get First Impression as well, and they both get Sucker Punch. So Sucker Punch is great, although it is Stab on Alolan Grimer and Alolan Muck. So again, you could argue Alolan Muck is better because of the dual Stab in terms of offense, but Cantonian Muck's traits are not to be underestimated. That pure poison typing, that water absorb, that strength sap, those are great. I know that water coverage, those are great advantages that it has over Alolan Muck. I know I'm repeating myself a lot, but I really want to hit that home. So now I'm just going to go in order of the two. I'm going to talk about Cantonian Muck first, then I'm going to talk about Alolan. All right. So actually, no, I'll just do overlap stuff first. So they both get Scary Face for utility and Haze for utility and that kind of stuff, as well as like Toxic and Acid Spray and Stockpile and all this really, really useful moves that are all buffed or changed in some way. Screech does -2 to both defenses. Scary Face does -1 speed. Sorry, -2 speed, -1 attack. Haze is good for totems and also just for setup mons in general. Toxic is very useful, obviously. Memento is solid for non-Nuzlockers, although I'm not planning on doing that, but I still have it there for flavor. Scum Shot is a very good move. Scum Shot is priority. It always flinches and it always poisons, and it's 60 base power. The only downside is it only has 1 PP, so you can only use that move once. However, priority move that always flinches and poisons and 60 base power, that's really useful. You can use that whenever you want to instantly just guarantee that you get a poison off on the foe. That's incredible for Alolan Muck. I didn't talk about Alolan Muck's abilities yet. So Alolan Muck has Gluttony and Merciless. I think those are very fitting. I believe they already had Gluttony. Yeah, they already had Gluttony, and then I just added Merciless because I think it's a really fitting ability. I think it's really cool. So what that does is it makes their moves crit when the opponent is poisoned. So, you know, stuff like Poison Gas, early game, Toxic, Baneful Bunker is big. If they hit you and they make contact with you, they get poisoned. Bar Barrage plus Merciless is actually stronger than Poison Jab. No, just as strong as Poison Jab, because Bar Barrage is 20 base power per hit, hits 3 times, it always poisons. So if the last 2 hits of Bar Barrage crit, that essentially makes Bar Barrage stronger than Poison Jab and Poison Fang overall. And of course, that's guaranteed poison. So that's a great move on Merciless Alolan Muck. And it's good on Gluttony sets just because, you know, it always poisons. It's consistent. So that's a great option. You know, Crunch, Jagged Fangs. I already talked about Scary Face. Leech Life is great. Leech Life is 60 base power, heals 100% of your HP. But the point is Merciless plus Scum Shot, which is why I learned Scum Shot much later, because that essentially gets you a guaranteed poison on them. Also, another big deal is Toxic Spikes. Toxic Spikes is huge. So T-Spikes in this hack is very good as a TM because you can always just teach it whenever you need it. It's not like you're stuck with T-Spikes, which could be a liability in some fights. But in other fights, it's absolutely absurd because all you have to do is click it once, and then the opponent is poisoned their entire team, assuming that they have grounded. As long as they don't have any non-grounded or steel types or poison types, everything is getting poisoned. Click Toxic Spikes once, now your Venoshock for the entire battle is a 140 base power move that always crits with Merciless. That's incredible. It's such a good option, and you're so tanky. You can use Giga Drain to heal. You can use Recover to heal. You know, Cantonian Muck can do the same thing, but without the Merciless boost, of course. So it's mostly more impressive for the Merciless sets, of course, with 90 base special attack. That's why your special sets are actually a lot more viable than your physical sets sometimes because of your coverage options. You do have awesome coverage options that you don't have physically rather. For example, physically, you have the punches, and then Alolan also has the fangs, which are strong. Of course, they're very strong, but stuff like Thunderbolt and stuff is slightly stronger than the punches, 80 versus 90, for example. Seed Bomb is 80, Energy Ball is 95, that kind of thing. So despite, you know, the base power is stronger. Or late game, you have Thunder and Blizzard and Fire Blast on the special side. You have Sludge Wave, which is the same as Gunk Shot, but instead of having a 50% chance to poison like Gunk Shot does, it has a 100% chance to drop speed by 1. And then Sludge Bomb's 95. You know, all these moves are buffed and changed, so it has a lot of awesome moves here. Tons of great utility. These guys are super cool, really. I'm really happy with how they both turned out. They were very boring before, especially Cantonian Muck, the poor guy. So that Water Absorb, that gooey, that bulk increase, he's just a super tanky, reliable mon. Assault Vest sets are obviously incredible. You know, Drain Punch, Giga Drain, that kind of Leech Life. You know, that's really good. On Assault Vest, that's for sure. Again, Barbarage is great with Merciless, so is Venoshock. Acid Spray is solid. Spew Out, Stockpile is incredible. Swallow is buffed its priority and heals you by 100% HP now, no matter what. So you can use that really nicely. Belch is very powerful with Gluttony, because Gluttony, I haven't talked about why that's useful yet. So Gluttony is good because of the new Pinch Berries. So essentially, with the Wiki Berry or something, you heal up to full as soon as you hit half HP. So Gluttony is just a solid tanky ability for this mon. I did consider Metabolism. I don't know why I didn't do that, actually. Oh, I remember why. Because there is a pure poison type with Metabolism. I think you guys can probably guess which one it is, just based on the name of the ability and the pure poison types that exist currently. There's only a few more. I believe there's actually only Weezing, Cantonian Muck. I'll check my notes real quick. Hold on. Poison. Oh my goodness, excuse me everybody. I need to find my pure poisons. Here it is. Yeah, there's only three, and 2 of them we've done already, alright? Alolan Muck, sorry, Cantonian Muck, Weezing. So that's really cool actually. All the pure poisons, 2 of the pure poisons have immunities. So Weezing is immune to fire or ground depending on your ability. Muck is immune to water, and then the third one is just super fucking tanky. And also has great abilities as well, but they're not immunities. So he doesn't have any immunities, but he is going to be very tanky and actually stronger in terms of raw damage output. But he's going to be awesome. I'm excited for that one as well. Back on topic though, yeah, Mucks are both awesome. They have tons of other great moves that I could cover, but honestly would take way too long. I think I've kind of covered everything, to be honest. I mean, you know, I guess I'll talk about a couple. Oh yeah, Acid Armor. Acid Armor is huge. Acid Armor actually gives +3 defense now, and that has 2 BP, so you can get +6 defense in 2 turns, +3 defense in 1 turn. So like Acid Armor plus Strength Stab on Cantonian Muck is insane, and then Acid Armor plus Recover is very good on Alolan Muck as well. Alolan Muck also learns moves past 60 for Dark type Stab. He has Twilight Cannon, Wicked Blow, and Payback. You can search up what all those do, but the best one of those is by far Payback at 70, because Payback is 120 base power, negative priority with no drawbacks, and of course with 20 base speed, that doesn't really matter. So you're super tanky and you have that amazing payback for a really good physical stab. Of course, you also have Sucker Punch, you have Night Burst, Sludge Shot, Poison Dart. So Alolan Muck does have more priority than Cantonian. Cantonian only has Shadow Sneak and Sludge Shot. Sludge Shot is special, Shadow Sneak is physical, but it's not stab, of course. Honestly, I think that's about it. I mean, yeah, Acid Reflux is great for Merciless hits as well, that via Tutor. Acid Reflux always poisons and drops special defense by 4, so that's a great Tutor move for Merciless Alolan Muck. Again, T-Spikes, Merciless, and you know, you can use T-Spikes and then just spam Sucker Punch, for example. You know, you crit all your Sucker Punches. T-Spikes, click it once, and now you Sucker Punch, you kill everything with the crit Sucker Punch. Obviously, that's exaggerated, but the point is you can get a lot of power that way. So that's a really fun ability for sure with T-Spikes, as well as Barbarage and Scum Shot and other really good moves that I added. Really fun mons to play with. I would love to use either one of these. Also, Parting Shot, bulky, slow Parting Shot is incredible on these 2 as well. They both have access to that. Most Pokemon do. Yeah, I think I covered about everything, honestly, so that's about it for Kanto, man. We're done with all the Kanto videos, so I hope you guys enjoyed these. I have made a couple of minor tweaks to some Kanto stats. For example, Pinsir. I dropped Mega Pinsir speed by 5, added +5 attack instead, so it's 165, 118. Minor stuff like that, and I always add that in the description. Oh, Magmortar. Magmortar learned Burning Barrage when I added that move. You know, stuff like that, but nothing too crazy. And I also edit the descriptions in those videos that I do change stuff from. That's relevant enough to change. Obviously, small ones don't. I'm not going to bother. But yeah, that's about it. Lastly, Gunk Shot and Nasty Plot and Bulk Up are very good as well. Both of them get access to Nasty Plot and Bulk Up. Bulk Up is incredible with Shadow Sneak and Sucker Punch, and on a Cantonian, and then Poison Dart and Sucker Punch on Alolan. Of course, stuff like Leech Life and Drain Punch is great with Bulk Up as well. Super awesome stuff, really. It's so fun. You also have Nasty Plot, which is great for like priority Night Burst and priority Sludge Shot, or other stuff. All right, you can really do a lot with these guys. Super fucking fun changes. I really love the way they turned out, so I hope you guys do as well. super solid mons. So I think I'm at risk of just repeating myself a billion more times. I'm going to leave the video off here. That's it for Kanto. So I hope you guys enjoyed all these. Make sure you drop a like. That'll be very helpful. Also leave a comment down below. That helps with the algorithm as well. Again, in the description, you can find not only a link to the changes for yourself to search for stuff yourself and look at the changes. You can also check out the my Discord server if that interests you. You can join it. Talk to the community in there. I update live as to when I make progress in this hack. You can play my older hack. You can download and play my older hack, Bear and Black, in there as well. If that interests you, you can find out more information from there. So thank you very much, and that's all for Kanto. Bye.